Oh, thank the spark you're safe. I heard news just after you departed the General's camp had fallen. It is a tremendous blow to our forces here. And even worse, it means I'm in charge. To some, it would be. But I have never really sought power over others. So much responsibility. No, I much prefer to be engaged on the front lines. In a bat, to be completely honest. My faith wavers at times. I see this. Shoot! I set myself up for that, didn't I? I will have to consider further and consult with the other Covenant officers. But I promise you this. I will at least attend your parley, if that is what you ask of me. Call me Emil. What use are titles at the end of the world? Send word of the time and location for your parley, and I will come. I hope time does not prove me a fool. Though it may have been proven already.
Well, what do you think of our new camp? Not much to look at yet, but as Plato says, the beginning is the most important part of the work. Though, this fort seems familiar somehow. Have I been here before? Glad you like it. From here, we'll make our noble, potentially futile final stand. Can you taste it? That thick, sickly taste. We're getting closer to the heart of corruption. Closer to the Tempest. So, you marched off hoping to win the hearts, minds, and souls of the Covenant. I don't imagine they were too open-minded, were they? Really? That is certainly a surprise. You seem to be quite a recruiter, my protege. If the Covenant will talk, perhaps these other warmongering flag wavers will too. Who's next? I'm sure I have no idea. With a name like that, they sound more like a guild of thieves. Say, are those the ones who wear black and wear the plague masks? Ah, yes. I met one once, rushing off on the way to battle. I recall saying, know the enemy and know yourself. But they hadn't even read Sun Tzu. Some scholars, these syndicate people. Good luck.
The show today, we're giving you the aftermath of the biggest, baddest convention of them all, E3. What went right and what went wrong? We'll be discussing the finer points of the show with some real-life industry experts. And Will has your post-E3 console roundup in AOTS hardware. He has all the inside info on the big gaming consoles. Plus,
What's going on here?
Think about this.
It's time.
That is the loudest wave file we've ever found on the internet. There's nobody here. It's just us.
What's sad is that they were all forced in here.
Yeah, they were actually. Yeah. We were prodding them all with electric rods. Hey, everybody, I'm Kevin Pereira. It's Monday, May 15th, and in case you didn't notice, we got a little bit of a new look. But don't worry, I know you all fear change, but this one is actually for the best. We figured this way we're going to get more yearbook signatures. So,
I'll sign your yearbook.
Thanks.
You'll sign mine. That's at least
Totally.
one for each. All right. Everyone, I am Olivia Munn. Along with your new set, you'll be seeing some new faces, and we're going to give you more of the news you want to know. You ready? Because it's all going to happen right here, right now, on Attack of the Show.
That's right. Coming up later, though, I'm going to shoot someone. Who's it going to be and how am I going to do it?
Not me, right?
No, it's not you.
Okay.
But you can't miss this, so start calling your friends now.
And Zach will be here to give us the latest news in sports junk, from Bonds versus the Babe to Matt Leinart and his new babe. Zach has it all, so stay tuned.
He's a dreamboat. But right now, let's get it started. Here's the newest member of Attack of the Show. our news correspondent. With all the big stories you care about, she's Layla Cayley, and she has the feed.
Are you starving for info? No worries. I'm Layla Cayley, and I have your feed. E3 is over. Pop 2 ad reels for The Hangover. Here's what caused the buzz. The Nintendo Wii completely stole the show at the Los Angeles Convention Center. People waited in line up to 5 hours to try out the motion-sensitive controllers that allows gamers to manipulate the Wii with actual movement. It now does appear that the new Nintendo console will be as revolutionary as promised. Meanwhile, Sony released its price point for the PS3 and turned some heads with its hefty price tag. The fully loaded 60-gig console will cost $600. The 20-gig version, which doesn't have wireless internet capability, will only be $100 less at $500. Better start saving, boys. And we also learned Xbox Nation won't have to wait for Grand Theft Auto next time around. The franchise smash hit will be released on both Xbox 360 and PS3 simultaneously. Mark down October 16, 2007 as the launch date. From console premieres to movie premieres, coming in at number 5 this weekend was An American Haunting, which earned $3.6 million. Fourth place went to the new Lindsay Lohan flick, Just My Luck, with $5 million, while the Robin Williams family comedy RV took third with $9.5 million. The waterlogged remake of Poseidon barely stayed afloat in second place with $20 million in its debut, and Mission Impossible 3 once again took the top spot, earning $24 million. In other movie news, George Lucas has been elusive about the rumors of the 3D versions of the Star Wars movies, but his producer Rick McCallum is talking. DarkHorizons.com reports that McCallum has confirmed they are indeed working on the 3D versions of the films. They're just waiting for more theaters to update their technology before releasing them. It's believed it will happen sometime in 2007. In other news, the U.S. government filed a motion on Saturday to intervene and seek dismissal of a lawsuit by a civil liberties group against AT&T. The suit claims AT&T, Verizon, and Bell South were secretly helping the government compile a massive database of phone calls as part of the war on terror. President Bush denied the government was miming and trolling through the personal lives of Americans. Speaking of the government, Public Enemy is known as one of the most important hip-hop acts to ever take the stage. Now they're being immortalized in comic book form. Founder and frontman Chuck D, a former graphic design student turned rapper, has always been a comic book fan. Now 20 years since first declaring that he swings a hammer like the mighty Thor, Chuck Flavor and the rest of the Public Enemy are set to release the first licensed comic book this summer. And that's today's feed. Keep it tuned to G4 throughout the day for all the news that matters. And visit us on the web at g4tv.com/thefeed.
Thank you for the news download there, Layla. Now, I got to be honest, I'm a little wrecked right now.
Yeah,
E3 last week was huge. I'm exhausted. What did you think of your E3? That was your first time,
Yeah,
right?
I loved it. Everything about it, the passion for gaming, all the people. I know one of my favorite things was that I was able to actually use the Wii and try that out.
Yeah, you bypassed all the line. I saw the 4-hour queue of people were very happy to see you just scoot right on in.
No, you know, I was lucky because I was going to have to wait, but someone, you know, knew who I was at the end.
You're welcome for that, by the way. I slipped him a 20. No, what did you think of the Wii?
I got to tell you, though, you know, when you watch the demonstrations, they make it so much fun. They're just throwing it around, but you got this the screen, and you know, really all you have to do is this. You don't have to make it crazy. You can just kind of be right in here.
True. Well, you can. I mean, if you want to be drastic with it, it'll still work. But yeah. I think I kind of like the fact that you can play it both ways. If you want to slash your giant sword, go ahead. If not, just give your little wrist a workout. Chances are you don't need it, but you can use it.
I know you don't need any wrist workouts.
No, I'm all ripped.
Every night.
I'm all man.
All right. Okay, now because we care, it's time for the poll question. You voted by text message. And here's the question: which console do you think has the most buzz after E3?
Good question.
Good question. Nintendo's Wii, PS3, or Xbox 360? Now, we want to hear from you, so your text message should go to G4TXT, that's 44898, to vote and register for AOTS Live News Alerts. Thanks for voting, and keep watching for your results.
Yes, I will deliver them. And unlike your girlfriend, we're both going to listen to what you have to say and pretend that it matters. Seriously.
I always pretend.
But coming up on the show, gunfire. That's right, someone's going to get shot in studio for real.
Kev, don't point that thing at me.
Camera go.
All right, and we'll dig even deeper in the aftermath of E3 with an array of gaming experts. Stay tuned. Woo!
Here. So what's your name? Hindry. Bill Hindry. I am the events coordinator here at E3 2006. And people always ask me, Bill, what do you do? And I always answer, what don't I do?
What do you do?
I like to think of myself as sort of a dictator. Not a bad one, one of the good ones. Like Pol Pot without the genocide. Unless you consider getting rid of, disorderly behavior and filthiness genocide. Do you?
No.
Good. Then I'm like Pol Pot.
There it is. E3, my kingdom. There's no handle on this door.
There's a ton of responsibility organizing E3. You have to kind of figure out how people work together, managing these large-scale construction events, and making sure people stay safe.
So you actually deal in construction?
Yes. Not actually constructing anything, but just kind of making sure that people are using the right drill bits, and I watch people as they're building something and then point out what they're doing incorrectly. If there is a rule that is missing, I will make up another rule, distribute that rule. And I think people like that.
Be sure to be careful up there.
Be sure to my ass. How about that?
People don't always like following the rules, but they are there for a reason.
And there are a lot of new rules this year, right?
The booth babes, yes. Everyone always asks about the booth babes. E3 is a professional convention. We do try to maintain an air of professionalism throughout, but year and year again, there are just certain companies that refuse to comply.
Do you see this? This is exactly what I'm talking about. Prominently displayed cleavage. This is nicer. There's no cleavage. There's no nudity. Just a kind of a gory battle scene with probably thousands of brutal casualties. This is family gaming. You can't just let people do what they want, and that includes being sexy. I mean, people are here for video games. They didn't come here for buttocks or breasts, shaking their thing in your face.
Surprisingly, Natsume is a big violator.
The Harvest Moon developer?
Last year they had a booth event called Farm Fun. It was farm animals having sex with people. The animals were in control. They called it Farm Fun, but there was nothing fun about that. Except they actually did have these nice little bracelets, which I later found out were rings.
All right, folks, it's now time to bring together the best minds, the biggest topics, and the hottest debates. It's The Loop. All right, today we're talking E3 aftermath. What happened? Who's got the buzz? And who's dating who? We're going to find out. Now, before the break, we asked you which console would have the most people talking after E3. Well, according to our text message counting scientists at the G4 Laboratories, 65% of you thought that the Nintendo Wii had the most buzz, cleanly beating out Sony and Microsoft. Well, joining us via satellite to help make sense of it all is host of X-Play, Adam Sessler, New York Times gaming columnist Seth Chazelle, and editor-in-chief of Game Informer magazine, Andy McNamara. Gentlemen, welcome to the old attack of the show. We appreciate you joining us. Got to start off here. It was a cutthroat year for next-gen consoles. Lots of craziness going on. Andy, who's the winner in your mind? Who came out ahead?
Well, I think anybody can win this contest at this point, but I think coming out of E3, I think Microsoft has positioned itself very well for the future, the next couple of years. They're going to have third-party support and a solid first-party lineup that I think is going to propel them to the top.
Now, Adam was nodding in what looked to be agreement, but if I know Sessler, he's a deep man. Is that true, Adam? Do you agree?
Yes. I mean, I think definitely for the future, for the rest of the year, Microsoft is in the best position. I would say that at E3 itself, that Nintendo really captured the interest of more people. Like the talk of E3 was the Wii, but if you look at what people showed at E3 and what that means down the road towards the holiday season, Microsoft with some really strong games seems to be in the best position.
Now, Seth, longer lines than the men's room at the convention center. Did you get to play with the Wii? Did you wait in line for it? Was it worth it? Was it the hype?
Yeah, I actually really liked the Wii a lot. I was surprised, going into it, we'd seen were these various demos and videos from Tokyo, and once you actually get your hands on it, I was surprised, and I was actually a pretty quick convert to using it. Because, Nintendo's whole point is that games have gotten too complicated, there's too many buttons on the controllers, and they want you to be able to pick it up and use it, and it was very intuitive. I had a lot of fun with it.
All right, so that's the hardware side of things. It looks like you guys agree with the poll. Nintendo's got it locked down. But Adam, I want to start with you. Software-wise, it's all about the games. Was there a game of show, in your opinion?
Gears of War. I was so impressed with it. The demo of the single player definitely made me want to play it. And then I got the opportunity to get my hands on the multiplayer, which is unlike just about any other multiplayer I ever got my hands on. I think primarily because you really have to play the game as it's supposed to be played. It wasn't like, say like with Quake or Doom, where you can, jump around to try to avoid shots from people. It was a very dark, hardcore, intense multiplayer.
Andy, your thoughts? Game pick for you?
I can't believe I'm agreeing with Sessler again, but Gears of War was my game of the show as well. It is truly intense. It is going to be the hottest game this holiday season, without a doubt.
All right, enough with the Gears of War love. Seth, I'm assuming it's a different game for you, right? Come on, give me something.
Well, I'm really bad at console shooters, so it can't be Gears of War for me. For me, it's got to be Spore. Now, of course, Spore was there last year, but Will Wright seems to have done it again. I mean, just the sort of the scope and the generosity of spirit and the depth in Spore is fantastic. But given that Spore was there last year, I got to go with another game. I'm going to go a little bit out of the box. I'm going to go with Madden for Wii. That was the game where I felt I picked it up and I was actually able to start throwing passes. And Madden's one of these games that I've always sucked at. And with the Wii, I could actually get into it and start having fun right away.
All right, awesome. I can't wait to see you slide tackle your own lazy boy sofa because you're getting into the game. Enough with the Wii, though. Let's talk PlayStation 3. Price point was announced. A lot of people were wondering if they were going to say anything about it. Seth, in your opinion, I mean, it could be $1,000 before we're out the door with the console and a game and another controller. Is that too crazy? Is this going to scare away the most of the gamers out there?
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the reasons why Microsoft came out of the show so well positioned, because not only is the PlayStation 3 going to be so expensive, but you're not going to be able to find one. I mean, not only is the price point $500, $600 before you get to software, but it's going to sell out regardless. The publishers, though, they're more concerned with the actual quantity of units that'll be available. They're only going to have 2 million available worldwide at launch, 4 million by the end of the year, and only 6 million by the end of March of 2007. So basically, as a practical matter, for like any normal person who doesn't have a hookup at GameStop or with their Walmart manager, to be able to actually walk into a store and get one is going to be until next summer. And that's why Microsoft is so well positioned right now.
Now, Andy, you're not a cable television darling like Adam Sessler over here. And so my question is, are you going to be an early adopter, or are you going to wait for the price to drop on this one?
Oh, I think you move in and get it quickly if you can. If you can afford it, why not? I think it's going to be pretty impressive. It is easily the most powerful hardware out there with the addition of the new controller and what it can do. It's got everything. It's everything but the kitchen sink. So if you can afford it,
yeah, but you're over-under on eBay.
That's right. It is going to be tough.
Adam, are you concerned?
Your over-under on eBay has got to be like $1,500.
Yeah, Seth brings up a point. It could be $1,500 or more on eBay when this thing comes out. Are we going to see a shortage like we did with the 360, or are people going to be less likely to hoard consoles because of the price point?
I really wonder what's going to happen. I don't know I think with the shortages and the fact that we're so, like right now we are talking about there are going to be shortages, people are really going to start looking at the 360. I'm almost wondering if there may just kind of be a really big shrug at the launch of the PlayStation 3. The people are like, these games don't look all that good. It costs $600. It's going to cost all this much more if I want to get games for it. Maybe I'll just go ahead and get the Xbox 360.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for the next-gen fan division myself, so...
I mean, you know that Gates and Peter Moore have more cards up their sleeve, and that they could very easily announce a price cut right before the PS3 comes out and put even more pressure on.
That's exactly what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to drop by, I bet around $100. And you know what? Nintendo and Microsoft could get together and say, buy a Wii, buy a 360. It's still less than a PlayStation 3.
Well, those kind of discussions are starting to happen already, and that's why I want to ask you, Adam, I was at the Nintendo press conference. We saw some gameplay happen on the screen, and at any other conference, people are pointing out, are these graphics next gen? Are they as polished and shiny as they should be? People didn't seem to care at the Nintendo conference. Are they banking on the fact that the graphics aren't going to matter for them in next gen?
I think so. For Nintendo, they do, and also a lot of their signature games like Mario and Zelda. The nature of the graphics is more the art style than like the clarity of the textures. Also, and I was there with you, and once they started playing it with the Wii controller, you really didn't care that much about the graphics. Curiously, I could not see much of a difference in graphical quality between the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360. So once again, what's going to make the difference for me there? The quality of the games, and that quality is what I think Microsoft has.
All right, Andy, I want to actually give you the final word. Nintendo, are the graphics going to matter for them or not?
I mean, they have to have some measure of graphical quality, but I don't think they're going to matter. I mean, the Wii's fun. Everyone wants to see it. It's a sight to see. You got to check it out. It will be hot this holiday season as well. But the problem with Wii is that it's going to be a great vehicle for making Nintendo money. The problem will be, will third parties actually be able to make any money with it? And if they can't, there won't be games from third parties on it.
Excellent question, Andy. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining us for this little discussion here. Everybody, that's the digital water cooler. That's how we chat. And if you want to keep in the know, you got to watch The Loop. We're just warming up here on Attack of the Show. Olivia, tell them why we're the one-stop source of pure informational joy, would you?
Because we're revolutionary, Kevin. And still ahead, we'll prove it with guns. Blood will be involved. And even more revolutionary, the AOTS hardware console roundup. It gets oh so dreamy when Attack of the Show continues.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Attack of the Show. Coming up in just a little while, we'll have a visit from Battlestar Galactica hottie, Trisha Helfer. Seriously, but first, I'm gonna shoot Will. No, seriously, I'm gonna just yeah.
Dude, this shirt's new.
Got some spray on me, too. Wow. All right, obviously Will's not dead. We're just playing around, folks. A little something called squibs. And who better to explain how these things work than professional special effects expert John Kazin. John, welcome to the show.
Oh, thanks.
You didn't warn me about the splash damage. It's tasty, though.
Well, Karo syrup and food coloring.
Gotcha. Now, what is a squib exactly? We've heard this term a lot. We hear about it on sets. They fired off a bunch of squibs. What are they?
Well, a squib is basically a small pyrotechnic charge, and it fits inside a bullet shield here. Okay, and what that does is that takes all of the energy and forces it out like it did through Will's shirt. And what we do is we take a big chunk of foam.
And now this protects. Unfortunately, this protects Will.
Unfortunately, this protects Will.
All right.
We put that behind our bullet shield, and then we take our blood bag, and in this case, this would be a really large one. Place that over it, and then this gets taped on the back of our wardrobe, and then on cue, we set it off, and that is your result.
Now, I'm looking at it over here, and Will looks like he's in his third trimester. He's looking a little plump here. Is there? That is good.
Yeah,
that is good.
tasty.
Should have some. Why is that? Was there special padding in here to protect his delicate skin?
There's actually more. I put more padding on Will to make sure that he didn't get hurt on this one, and we didn't want to pop him. So he has an awful lot of padding. Usually it's very thin for us.
Now, you know, a scene like The Matrix, when you're in the lobby and there's thousands of gunshots going off and pillars are shattering and there's blood going everywhere, how much do these cost per squib, and how much would a scene like that actually cost a movie company?
Well, depending on the size, but The Matrix was a very expensive scene, basically because you're looking at hundreds, if not thousands, of squibs per take, times 3 or 4 takes. So it can very easily run into $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a take.
Now, I noticed we had Will wired here, which I didn't know squibs actually had to be wired, and you got it coming into this crazy little toy box here. Now, what is all this stuff?
This is called a clunker box, and this is my firing system, and we call this hardwire. And what we do is each one of those squibs has a wire that comes to it, and normally we run it down on the inside of the pants.
Sure.
We left it on the outside for this.
Right.
It wires into this box, and it corresponds with the numbers that we have. And as I set it off, it advances and shoots.
You
the
have a very
off.
V for Vendetta plunger here, and you just use that to fire off things, right?
Exactly, my firing button.
That's awesome. Now, how can we do this at home, though? Because, you know, for those that are making their own films, they want to shoot their friends. Maybe they want to freak mom out come Christmas time and shoot the cat. Is it possible to make some sort of squib device to do that with?
Well, there is. Pyrotechnically, there wouldn't be. You know, that would be very, very dangerous. And
sure, don't try that at home, kids.
We
All
have
right, but John, how do we
licenses
do
and we're professionals. But for us, you can use air, compressed air, small tube, slightly bent. You put your blood inside of that, and you force the air through it, and then it'll go ahead and blow the blood out. In fact, a lot of times, especially in the old days, for exit wounds on heads, we would put a small tube back there and fill it full of spaghetti and brain matter, and then they would fake it and shot. We'd set that off, and that's what would blow everything on the wall behind you.
That's awesome. Let's give them an angle that they might not have seen before, because we have a squib here taped to the table, and this, of course, has no clothing. It still has some padding on it, I'm assuming. And we're going to blow a blood bag now with the charge.
Right.
So.
This is what our finished product looks like, and this hole, that tells you where the squib is, and we place that over a distressed hole in the wardrobe. And if you want, I'll go ahead and set this off.
By all means, let's see it.
It's going to be a little bit loud, and
oh man!
And we've blown blood all over.
Jesus!
So there you go.
Oh, that's awesome, John. You have perhaps the coolest job I've ever seen. Thank you for coming on, man.
Oh, you bet.
It's a pleasure. You actually, do you mind if I shoot Will one more time?
No, absolutely
I'd just really
not.
like to give it to him. Yeah, bring it, buddy. Yeah. Oh man. Oh,
yeah, that's
I take it back. I have the coolest job I've ever seen. No, seriously, John, thanks for coming down.
You
man.
bet.
Really good stuff. Everybody, for more information on how you can legally shoot your friends, if you're licensed, of course, just go to attackoftheshow.com. Olivia.
And still coming up in the show, Battlestar Galactica's Trisha Helfer joins us live. It'll be so good you'll want it in 3D. But up next, Zach brings you the sports junk that matters. Don't forget to change into your cool clothes over the break, because we'll be right back. Welcome back to Attack of the Show. I am Olivia Munn. Now, coming up in this half hour, we'll have Battlestar Galactica star Trisha Helfer live in studio. She's hot. Plus, Will's post-E3 console roundup and all the good crap we could find on the internet in Around the Net.
Yes, but right now, here's another look at today's top stories, care of Layla Cayley and The Feed.
And now it's time for the Feed recap. All the news you need to know. E3 has ended and we have the fallout. The Nintendo Wii completely stole the show this past week. Endless lines wrapped around the convention center, all waiting to try the new motion detecting controller that appears to fulfill the promise of being truly revolutionary. Meanwhile, Sony released its price point for the PS3. The fully loaded 60GB console will cost $600, while the 20GB version will cost $500. And we also learned Grand Theft Auto 4 will be released on both Xbox 360 and PS3 simultaneously. Let the countdown begin to October 16, 2007. Also coming in 2007, the 3D versions of the Star Wars trilogy. George Lucas producer Rick McCallum recently confirmed that they are indeed working on the 3D film versions. That's today's Feed recap. Keep it tuned to G4 throughout the day for all the news that matters. And visit us on the web at g4tv.com/thefeed. Let's go to Zach, because he's the man.
Oh, I love your little fake accent. And now, we're putting sports in a blender and filtering out the crap. It's sports junk. My guest today writes some of the funniest sports news for sites like The Onion, ESPN's Page 2, and most importantly, sportspickle.com. He is DJ Gallo. How you doing, my man?
Thanks, Zach. Thanks for having me. I'm doing well.
Absolutely, man. Now, tell us just real quickly about sportspickle.com.
It's basically a blatant ripoff of The Onion, but about sports.
Nice.
Satirical sports news.
At least you're honest. You ripped it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Satirical sports news. That's what we're going to talk about here. Because this Barry Bonds guy, apparently, this Barry Bonds guy, still chasing this guy named Beirut. What is it?
Yeah, I don't know if it's
Babe
a
Ruth?
chase so much now as like a gentle stroll. He's not hitting a lot of home runs.
Right.
I think Babe Ruth is actually somehow playing defense on him. But
yeah, it's the curse
he's
of the
slowly
Bambino.
getting there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing about this whole thing is that not many people know he is 150 home runs shy of Sandra Oh's record.
Yeah, I think.
Who's the chick from Grey's Anatomy in Japan. She's a big home run
Maybe it's her
hitter.
uncle Sadaharu Oh, maybe that you're thinking
Is that
of.
it?
But yeah. I think he just sits at home in Japan thinking like, suck it, Barry Bonds. You still got 130 home runs to go. No steroids.
He does
it all on sake. So.
Yeah, sake. That's the steroid of the future, in my opinion. That's how I hit a $123 in Little League all those years ago. Now let's talk about my boy Matt Leinart. I love the guy.
Right.
USC, going to Arizona to play for the Cardinals, but he was recently caught sneaking out of Paris Hilton's house with a little bundle of clothes beneath his arm, looking a little guilty and probably smelling like some sort of disease. What do you think about this decision?
I don't know if the guy went insane because he dropped all the way to 10th and went to the Cardinals, but if he's not insane already, he's going to go insane because he's going to get syphilis.
Yes.
But seriously, I don't know what he's thinking. I guess he went to the Cardinals, thought, screw it, I'm just going to destroy my whole career. I'll go after Paris Hilton.
Well,
cut my losses.
The thing is, Michael Vick, he apparently used a fake name, a pseudonym, when he got his STD test.
Right.
I think his name, what was his name?
Ron Mexico.
Ron Mexico. Now that is a fake pseudonym. That is a great name.
I wonder. I think Matt Liner and Nick Lachey are sitting at home thinking of porn names that they can use to go.
How
get their
about
STD test.
Steve El Salvador?
I like it. Anything with like a nice South American, Central American name.
Central American country as a last name and a first
Ed
name.
Guatemala. I like that.
Eddie Guatemala. I used to play. I used to bowl with that guy.
He was good.
Yeah.
He's like the Jesus.
He was really. Yeah, he was excellent. Yeah. Tell me about Albert Pujols. As you may or may not know, Albert Pujols has 19 home runs already. He's on pace to hit 83, but a lot of people are saying a couple of those happened in Coors Field. So without the thin air in Colorado, he'd probably only be on pace to hit 81.
Yeah, it's not really that impressive, 81 home runs. But,
No.
you know, he may pass Bonds this year.
Yeah.
Which is impressive. He's probably not on steroids, but I do think he's about 45 years old.
He's on soccer.
Yeah. He's supposed to be 26. He's got the male pattern baldness. He's built
And
like
his last name, how do you live with that?
Pujols. That is not good.
Pujols.
It's a great name, though, to get little kids involved in baseball.
It sure is.
What little kid doesn't like to say Pujols?
We all do, DJ, and thank you so much for stopping by. I'm going to throw this one to Kevin and Olivia to see what's coming up next.
Still coming up in the show, Will O'Neill has the post-E3 console roundup in AOTS Hardware. He'll tell you which company was sporting the most power on the showroom floor.
Nice. Oh, also, Battlestar Galactica's Trisha Helfer slinks onto our set and maybe kills an intern or two.
Which one?
Can't tell you, but the Wheeze is about to go pop after the break.
But first, here's a clip from the new movie Poseidon, which is in theaters now.
Okay, baby, it's your turn.
Hell no, Lucky Larry's ready to go.
What?
Oh, yeah. Right, sorry. Yeah, I forgot. Big hero. Rescued all those women and children from the fires. But you're not the boss anymore.
They were shooting at us.
All right, our guest today is Trisha Helfer, better known to fans as the beautiful but deadly Cylon #6 on Battlestar Galactica. Give me a second, Trisha. Thank you for joining. Wow, good scene, good stuff.
Thank you.
You guys just finished your second season. Giant ratings, critical acclaim, a Peabody. You earned yourself a Leo. Clearly, you're ready to throw in the towel, right? You're sick of this. You're done. You're ready to quit.
Oh, yeah, you know, I'm just done.
I heard you in the hallway talking to your agent. Enough is enough, is I think the line that I heard. I mean, when is this crazy train going to stop for you?
You know, I think the way we all look at it on set is that we're just getting going.
Right. This is just the beginning of it all for you.
This is just the beginning, and we've been so lucky with the amazing press and critical acclaim that we've been getting. So our hope is that it's going to branch out and have a few people tune in that normally would go, sci-fi?
Well, that is,
Battlestar?
Now,
No.
see, that might scare some of the guys that are already tuning in, though, because they love the sci-fi. They love that aspect of it. You're not going to ditch that in favor of a more Young and the Restless type drama now, are you? Because that...
Absolutely not. No, it's going, you know, I'm very happy to say that the first 3 episodes that we've filmed so far, as the same or higher level of intensity and drama and crashes and space fights and everything. So
Sparing no expense on season 3, then.
sparing no expense. We're going right in, so nobody has to be afraid that we're slacking off at all.
Now, your character, it caused a nerd riot in our cubicles this morning. Normally, it's over Nerf guns and they're shooting, but when they heard you were coming on, they said, okay, well, here's the deal. She's a virtual character. No, wait!
It's confusing, and especially if people haven't tuned in, you know, regularly.
Right.
But a lot's going to be explained in the 3rd season.
But you do exist. There is a solid form of you, and because you can be cloned, I mean, that's the ultimate form of job security, right? You're not going to get killed off, or even if you do, it really doesn't matter. They just wheel out another one on a cart, right?
I've already been killed off once this season. But, you know, it's sci-fi. If they want you out, you're going to be out, right?
They just invent that device, that anti-cloning thing, and then they run it on you, and you're off the script.
Yeah, guess what? You can't clone anymore. You're done.
Well, multiple #6s, though. When do I get the scene where you're all together in a room, and, you know, we can get a smoke machine going, some dramatic lighting, and I can TiVo it over and over again like it's a wardrobe error on the Super Bowl? When are we getting that scene?
Well, we're actually going to get that scene in the 1st episode of the 3rd season.
Coming right out with it.
Yeah, we had, there was 2 Deannas, 2 Simon, or 1 Simon, 2 Dorals, 2...
Yeah, enough about them. How many #6s?
There was 4 #6s.
That's the way I like it. I actually order that when I go to In-N-Out. That's my favorite meal of the day. You know, it's enough from the sci-fi stuff. You're also a producer as well, correct?
Yeah, well, my first foray into producing is for Canada's Next Top Model.
Why do you say it like that? That's incredible. That's awesome. How's that show going?
It's going great. We finished it. It's about to premiere May 31st in Canada, so it's it's fun, you know. It was a completely different thing. I did it on my hiatus from Battlestar, and you know, from the intensity of Battlestar and everything, and then going to this where for the whole time of filming was all about posing and I thought that
working the camera, making it saucy.
Yeah,
spice.
I quit modeling years ago, and I thought that, oh, okay, I'm scared to go back into that world. I want people to take me seriously as an actor, everything like that. But then you put a runway in front of me and get music. I'm like, okay, do it like this, girls.
I wish I didn't know exactly what you're talking about, but I swore off the runway years ago, and I'm telling you, this weekend alone, I really got my walk down and was getting back on the bike, as they say. So.
Well, you know, if this wasn't like the first day of the new show, I'd make you.
And I appreciate you saving me that embarrassment on TV. Thank you so much for joining us, and congrats on all the success.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, Battlestar Galactica returns to the Sci-Fi Channel this fall. Miss Olivia.
All right, coming up after the break, we'll surf the web and find some cool junk that you probably can't live without when we go around the net. And we'll have the AOTS Hardware Console Roundup. Stick around.
What's going on here?
Now, we've all been there. You've got high-speed internet access, but no clue what to do with it. Yeah.
Well, I have a dial-up, but here's a little serving of some of the best that the internet has to offer. Prepare yourselves to be taken around the net.
Let's get things started with the free Tomb Raider Legend PC demo that recently hit the web. The demo allows you to guide the luscious Lara Croft through her new and completely redesigned game engine. Equipped with a new set of moves and an arsenal of modern equipment, you must help Laura search for an ancient Bolivian relic. Again, this is a free demo available for download right now. Hurry, Lara needs your help.
I'm coming, Laura. Next up, the rumors are true. Chewbacca has a MySpace page. Yes, the one and only Chewbacca has built himself a modest, informative page. The only problem is the poor guy doesn't have any friends. Stop neglecting the Wookiees, people. Last time I checked, R2-D2 had just approved his 5,000th friend. That's 5 Gs. Meanwhile, poor Chewie can barely crack a hundy. Chewie also lists himself as a smuggler who enjoys killing random stormtroopers in his spare time. He makes about $60,000 to $75,000 a year. Righteous bucks. And he doesn't want any children. He'll be in our top 8. Why isn't he in yours?
That sounds like a dating ad, by the way.
I'll call him.
And finally, we have the Google Maps guide to Ghostbusters. If you're a fan of the movie and a fan of Google Maps, and who really among us isn't, you can now locate all of your favorite scenes from the movies using this handy little map. All of the filming locations are mapped out, taking full advantage of the Google Earth satellite. Clicking on a Ghostbusters icon brings up a screenshot from the film to help illustrate exactly where each part of each film was made. It finally answers the lifelong question, can Google Maps get any nerdier? I don't think so. No.
They could.
They could?
Yeah, they could.
All right. Well, maybe we could put your map on there.
Yeah.
A little home.
Well, I had it tattooed on my back like Prison Break.
Like Prison Break? Did you get out of it?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. That's enough info. No more internet for you today.
None.
None. Be sure to visit our website for the links to everything we downloaded last night.
Because until you visited attackoftheshow.com for those links, you haven't been around the net, people! And now, here's Kevin with more on the gaming systems that rocked this year's E3 show.
Yes, thanks, Zach. E3 had it all. It's the expo that changes everything year in and year out. And our tech expert, Will O'Neill, caressed all of the new consoles on display. And here he is with his official report.
For console gamers, E3 2006 is about 3 things: the Xbox 360, Sony's new PlayStation 3, and the unfortunately named Nintendo Wii. Now, I know not everybody has enough cheese to buy all 3 machines. Platform wars, they suck. Do I wait? Do I pull the trigger now? That is the question. What's the best thing about the Xbox 360? Simple, dude. You can buy one today. Xbox 360 changed the way gamers think about hardware. More than just a gaming machine, the Xbox 360 is a full-fledged media center. Plus, Microsoft has really stepped up Xbox Live, making it a great choice for online gamers. Price-wise, things don't come cheap, especially with the introduction of the external HD DVD player. But if you want to buy something now, Xbox is it. If you've already jumped on the Xbox bandwagon, fear not. It's not like you're sitting on a ColecoVision. Face the facts, Bob. The reigning king of console gaming is the PlayStation. And with the PS3, Sony shows us they're not slowing down. At CES, Sony announced that all PS3s would ship with Blu-ray players. So if you're looking for a unit that comes fully loaded out of the box, PS3 won't let you down. We've played Gran Turismo on the PS3, and it looks amazing, even better than Project Gotham Racing on the Xbox 360. But start saving your money now. A fully loaded PS3 will set you back about $600. After it ships, expect to see a boatload of games come down the pike. The kids at Nintendo are banking on this sweet new controller to lure in young, impressionable gamers. While E3 was a buzz over the Wii controller, price is also going to be a big part of the story. While no pricing structure has been officially announced, expect it to come in way under the PS3 and Xbox 360. While it may not match the muscle of those platforms, Wii still delivers decent performance. Now, if you like Madden or killing people in titles like Halo, then the Wii may not be the platform for you. But for all you Mario-loving mothers, this controller is spankalicious. When it's all said and done, I see it breaking down like this. If instant gratification is your thing, then the Xbox 360 is the way to go. And now that the external HD DVD drive is on its way, you should be set for a long time. If you can wait till sometime this fall, the PS3 is going to be money. Fully loaded with Blu-ray and games coming out the ass, the PS3, it's going to have it all. And for you adventure geeks, the Nintendo Wii's controller may be worth waiting for. It's cool, it's addictive, and damn it, shoot us a button. All right, that's it for me, three kids. Hopefully I cleared up some of your questions. Now, excuse me, I'm going to go try to hit that.
Yeah, cute as a button, Will.
Yep,
Very
good
nice.
times, good
No,
times.
I appreciate the rundown on the hardware,
Yeah.
but I got to call you out on one thing.
Go ahead and say
There's
it.
no way in hell Gran Turismo looked better than PGR3.
Okay. Well, okay, here's the thing. I have an Xbox 360. I've been playing PGR for months. I think it's sort of like, you know, I've had it at home for such a long time. The idea of something new was interesting, you know?
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So you've been with the wife for years.
Yeah.
The girlfriend on the side is nice.
But like you
to
with your
have every now and
boyfriends.
then. Same diff.
You know?
My boyfriends are high def, though.
That's true.
Stay where you are, everyone. We'll be answering your video voicemail right after the break.
Old school. I like it.
Bring it back. All right, everybody, let's check our video voicemail. This is the part of the show where you can ask us questions about what's going on in your world. Yeah. Seth from West Roxbury, Massachusetts, has a question about the Nintendo Wii. Seth?
This is Seth from West Roxbury, Massachusetts, and I had a question for you. Now that you've had the opportunity to try out the new Nintendo Wii, is it as revolutionary as Nintendo suggests? Let me know.
Good question there, buddy. I got a chance to play with it at E3. Unfortunately, I only got to play the little tennis game, which is not the most revolutionary example of the Wiimote technology. But I'm excited for what this means for the future of gaming, though.
Yeah, well, you know, I played it too, and I'm not an expert like the rest of you guys here yet, but I gotta say, I've got to see a lot more games before I can actually say revolutionary.
Very, very safe to say. Will O'Neill got a chance to play it.
Yeah,
now,
Will.
maybe you can be the voice of reason with all this
the
crazy
middleman
Wii
between
talk.
us, crazy
Yes.
Wii.
For once, be the voice of
I'll be
reason.
the voice of something.
What'd you think of the Wii?
It's kind of cool. It sort of felt a little bit gimmicky at first. I don't really want to jump around my apartment swinging that thing.
You don't want to catch your hand in a ceiling fan?
Yeah,
or?
yeah, not really. And I'm old school. Like a gamepad works perfectly fine for me when I'm playing a game. But, you know, I guess the kids will like it.
All right, so you're not going to be waiting in line. You're going to pay an intern to do it for you.
Kevin, I don't wait in lines.
That's right. You're too talented. Everybody, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for stopping by the all-new Attack of the Show.
All right, and thanks to our guests, Trisha Helfer, DJ Gallo, John Kazin, Seth Chazelle, and Andy McNamara, and Adam Sessler. Bye, everyone. Mwah.
The light of the covenant shines within you.
My friend, you have done it again. Look at these artifacts. I will get to work on the extractions right away. And with luck, I will use it to fortify the arms you have in the arsenal.
So have you heard the latest catastrophe? All the crops are spoiled. Even if we do, perhaps. I'd have a mind to strike out on my own at this point. If I'm gonna stay, you're gonna have to help me convince Seville to do something. I don't know, you're the genius here. I'm just a common survivalist. I'd say gather some spoiled crops from the lakeside farm, then deliver them to Seville. Worth a shot, I say.
Bad news. The feast is called off. The honey cakes and wine will have to be rationed. We're facing a food shortage. I was all set, had the stew brewing and everything, and then I go to add the vegetables and they're spoiled. It's the third time this season. I'm beginning to think all of the crops in the region are ruined. I'm not sure. There's a theory that the spoiled crops might have something to do with the withered. Suppose it's worth a check. Farside Township. It's overrun these days. If you can find some squash growing, bring it back and I'll take a look.
can smell the Monarch's Bluff's pollen from here. Well done. I will begin preparations to visit Achenar myself right away. You know, we're capable of doing great things together. Your brawn, my brain, nothing can stop us. Take it however you want. Now, here's what I've surmised. The ancients had many advanced technologies at their disposal. Some may have been used for less humane purposes, others for defense. That we cannot yet be certain of. I am certain, however, the ancients harnessed the power of the stars.
light of the Covenant shines within you.
I see you've returned. Let's have a look at those medicinals. Inoculations. I wonder if these might have been what caused the family to become withered. Corruption is most undoubtedly spreading across Eternum right now. We must find a way to keep it outside our walls. I've actually had a hunch about this for some time. That quite possibly the lost and withered are immune to corruption. Perhaps, indeed, and I know how. The most foul lost in Everfall are the bilemouth at Meadow Lake Fishery. If you are willing, I would like samples of their bile. Meantime, I will consult with Alchemist All-American.
Perfect. Let us see what you have here. Yes, the ancients were triangulating light to either transmit or generate energy. I've been waiting for you some time, you know. Quite a compliment, I should say. I will need to see astrolabes from some of the other towers to reach further conjecture. Let's try Hercules, Canis, and Ursa. There is some cosmic symmetry at work here I'm not seeing yet.
Have you spoken to Survivalist Lee? He hasn't said a word to me in some time. I don't know. Perhaps I was too harsh on the man. I know I sometimes come off as a goldfish, but when you've loved and lost, it's hard to move on. Yes. The friend I spoke of before, Audrey Kelleher. She was more than a friend. I gave her my brooch. Recover the brooch from the Kelleher farmstead and give it to Odno. Maybe I will give him a chance.
Ah, look what the mangy old cat dragged in. Cecilia, it does. I suppose it's time for me to shrug off all this bad luck business. I need to be taking... You certainly can. My bad luck started when Daybreak Burrow fell to the Lost. I feel like I'm finally coming out from being under a gray cloud. Cleaning up what happened at Daybreak will restore the sunlight.